we are out going camping with the 3rd gen Prelude. I just had an itch. I had an itch to go do something in the Prelude and wanted to get out, so I figured let's go take it camping. I recently talked about like how much stuff you can fit in this car and doing outdoor things with it, so it's just a perfect opportunity. What was not the perfect opportunity is finding a campground. The first one I went to, it was north from where I live, and they had a bunch of walk-up sites listed, and when I got there, they were literally all taken. I called ahead of time, and they were like, yeah, just come by and check it out. Got there like 20 minutes later, and it was just all full. Luckily, I found another campground that I was actually able to reserve a spot at, but unfortunately, it's past my house and even further south. So just have to backtrack a little bit, but it should be hopefully pretty cool. Just stopped back at home real quick to actually pick up some of our firewood. I spent a lot of time actually chopping this, so may as well use it. And the first place I was going to is actually a DCR run state park. So you're actually not allowed to bring any campfire or any wood from outside of the park in, and vice versa. That's why I didn't bring it initially, but this new place is a private campground. You can bring your own wood. I don't feel like paying like $7 or $8 a bundle when I have my own. So let's go head to the campground. I'll see you guys there. That thing just turned out good, you know? I ended up not getting the site that I wanted initially, but I actually ended up getting here. And as soon as I parked and got the Prelude, parked up in the parking lot, I got a text from the campground owner who said that his cattle were actually in the pasture that I was supposed to camp in, because he basically turned his entire farm into a campground. He upgraded me to a better campsite, so that's so sick, guys. I'm gonna have a link down to this place. If you're ever in the upstate New York area, check it out. But I basically gotta take all the stuff out of the Prelude, put it in this cart, and then bring it all the way across this field to my campsite, which is somewhere over there. This is everything I brought for camping. It fits all in this nice little cart, fits in my Prelude, so any of you guys have a Prelude and are a little afraid to go take it like camping or outdoors or hiking or kayaking or anything like that, there's always a way. It just takes a will. Or you know how the phrase goes, when there's a will, there's a way. I think this is the field I was supposed to camp in tonight, and if you guys can see, those are the cattle. Sure enough, right in the field grazing, looking all peaceful and stuff. Here's the initial quick look at the campsite. Looks like over there we have our latrine, our bathroom. Over here we have our fire pit with this nice, actually that comes with a grate. Look at that, a table. A real table, and a nice flat piney spot, nice kind of soft area. Actually, that spot over there might be better for the tent. It is super hot in these woods. Just feels really muggy and kind of like heavy. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and unload all this stuff and then bring this cart back, and then I'll go ahead and start getting camp set up. I'll show you guys what my setup looks like. Pretty much everything that I threw into the 3rd gen Prelude to get me out here camping for the weekend. Normally, I would get my camp set up before cracking one of these, but it's been a long day. It took a lot to get to this point right here. I feel like I deserve this. And it's one of my favorite breweries, guys. It's Lagunitas, a little something something ale. Cheers, guys. Oh, yes. Now we can build camp. Camp is all set up. Moved the table, got it in a better position. I just like having like a little squared in area. Just makes it feel a little bit more homey to me. So we get the fire pit, the fire chair, clutch stump. That's good. That's gonna be clutch for like chopping wood. The table here for cooking. This is my setup, just a 1 burner stove with a pot. Yeah, just some essentials, cooler, some more essentials, and the tent, and sleeping bag, mattress pad, ukulele, pillow. I mean, what more do you need, guys? This is it. What more do you need? You hear that? Nothing. No people, no cars, no planes, no trains, no automobiles. Said that twice, but it's just so nice, guys, to get out and like be on your own out in the woods and just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I like getting away from all of it. It's just, life gets so crazy, especially in the past year. Like, oh my gosh, it's so necessary to get out by yourself, you know. Don't be afraid to go spend some alone time out in the woods, just camping and having a good time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Self-care is important, and do more of it this year. You won't regret it. It's just about 4 o'clock now. I'm already hungry, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get the fire started, get cooking on some dinner, and just kind of get the night rolling, you know? Because today didn't really work out as I'd planned to, like I said, go to another campground that was more of a drive up, so I'd have the Prelude in my actual camping spot. This didn't work out that way. I had to hike in my gear a little bit, leave the Prelude in a parking lot back there. No biggie, I totally feel safe about it, but if you guys did watch the last video I uploaded where I installed a fuel pump kill switch on the Prelude, you can see it's already getting some good use. I'm gonna have to leave the Prelude. I mean, it's like 500 yards away, but it's not in visible sight and it's kind of on the side of the road. So like, I feel way better knowing that the kill switch is in it, and I don't know, I guess I'll be able to sleep a little bit better tonight. If you guys missed that video, I highly recommend you go check it out and install a kill switch in your own car, whether it's a 3rd gen Prelude, or any car you value, or just, Jesus, if you own a car, put a kill switch in it. It's so simple, it's so cheap, and like, it could really deter someone from stealing your car. So just thought I'd throw that in the video. Let me give you a rundown of what's for dinner at the Elevated Nation Station tonight. We have our Coleman single burner grill with about a 3-inch pot there. I'm gonna be cooking up some Mexican rice along with some frijoles negros. This is my grandpa's actual special recipe. He makes this, he grows all his peppers and then makes this mix. And then we're also gonna cook up some chorizo, which I have in the cooler at the moment. So I'm just waiting for the fire to build up some coals. I was actually gonna cook the chorizo in the pan, but because they are so kind to give us this nice little grate here, once we get some good coals, some charcoal going here, I'm gonna put the grate on top and cook the chorizo over the fire, and then that will free up the pot for the beans and the rice. But before we start cooking dinner, I wanna go check this out because I kinda gotta pee, to be honest with you, and I see this thing just sitting over here in the woods, looking all interesting like. Be sure there's a bag in place before use. Oh, all right, so Jim, the guy who introduced me to this place, was explaining this. I've never used it, but of course I wasn't gonna let him know that and look like an idiot. I've never used one of these, but essentially he was saying you need to have a bag. I'm not gonna touch it because I don't really plan to use it. So I don't know if there's bags inside. I'm assuming you kind of like bring your own bag, BYOB, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be using the that thing if I need to. You know, we're in the woods. I'm just gonna, if I got a 1, I'm gonna 1 somewhere by a tree, and if I got a 2, he said there's a porta potty back by the Prelude, and that's gonna be the plan. I don't think I'm gonna use this, but it's interesting, and I bet it's peaceful. You know, you wake up in the morning to do your 2. It's probably nice. After the chorizo finished up, sliced it up, put it in there. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. I cannot wait to dig in. And that is a good meal, dude. This is this is so hearty. I topped it off with some of my grandpa's seasoning, and between this chorizo and the rice and beans, I'm so stoked. Let's do this. I'm gonna get a bite of everything in one. Oh, dude, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's hot, but I don't really care. And it really doesn't get much better than kicking back next to a nice fire. Fellow neighbors having a good time. Well, guys, it is 10 o'clock at night. I will see you all in the morning. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. See you when the sun's up. Bye-bye. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today I made some coffee out of the French press. The fellows over at Motorized Coffee were kind enough to send me over a pack of the Drift medium roast coffee. They sent it to me in a ground bean because I don't actually usually ground my own coffee, but if you guys do want to pick some up, they offer it in full bean, ground, and in like I think three or four different blends right now. I think this one's Drift. I'll probably try Supercharged next, but so far, excellent work, boys. Oh, yes. And Motorized was nice enough to send you guys and me a code so we could both use code ELEVATED to save ourselves 10% off our coffee. So it doesn't get much better than that, guys. I told you we were gonna bring the outdoors and cars together, and we're doing it. I don't know if it's just me and my family, but when we grew up, we always kept our coffee on ice. Like, we kept it in the freezer. Just think it keeps it better. I don't know, is that normal? Do normal people do that? Keep their coffee on ice? I went ahead and packed up the tent. As you can tell, I wet the bed last night. I'm just kidding. We did get quite a bit of rain actually last night, so there was a bunch of rainwater that kind of seeped onto the tarp and then underneath the tent. So where I was laying, it's not actually wet, but it just looks wet. So I was actually super dry in here last night. It was really comfy. I was just using this 20-degree bag and a sleeping pad, and I was super comfortable in here. It's pretty neat. This place actually does check out at noon, so I still have, it's only 10 a.m. right now. I still have 2 more hours here. So I'm gonna cook up some breakfast. Like I said yesterday, I have some eggs. I might throw in the rest of that chorizo. I have some ham to cook up, so we'll do that. And then I'm gonna show you guys back at the Prelude kind of how I fit all my camping gear and organize it in the trunk. Just that way you guys, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you guys are thinking about taking your Prelude out on some sort of adventure, I'll just show you how I do it. Well guys, camp is disassembled and I'm ready to head back home. So I'm gonna go take the cart across the field to the Prelude and go show you guys how I load up the trunk and actually how much freaking space there is in this 3rd gen Prelude. And here it is, guys, the Prelude all packed up. I literally have everything camping wise in this trunk. So starting over here, we have the 2-person tent. I've got my ground tarp down underneath it, camera gear, ukulele, been recently teaching or learning how to do that. My sleeping bag and sleeping pad are both in here. We've got the cooler, my crate for firewood, which we used most of last night. This is mainly just cooking supplies, lantern. This is my dirty dishes because I didn't want to do it. I'm just gonna take them home and do them. We have the tripod, the camping chair, my gallon of water, and then back there, you probably can't see it, but that is the Coleman stove, and back there is my duffel with all my clothes. Literally everything you would need for a camping trip can surely fit right in the 3rd gen Prelude. I hope you guys enjoyed this this different style of content. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Comments down below if you want to see more of this and what kind of stuff you want to see more of. And if you're new here, hit that subscription button so that way you don't miss another moment of elevated media. And I will see you guys next time. Keep elevating. Adios.